Every morning you wake up, you are given something that millions didn't receive: another chance. Another day to live, to breathe, to grow, to love, to fight, to change. And yet, so many of us roll over, hit the snooze button, and forget the magnitude of that gift. But let me tell you something. Gratitude is power, and when you wake up with gratitude in your heart, you activate a force that changes your entire day and your entire life. Gratitude is not just saying thank you when things go right. It's about waking up and realizing that just having breath in your lungs is a privilege. It's about understanding that even if everything isn't perfect, you still have something. You have the ability to move forward. You have the ability to get better. You have the ability to decide today that you're going to show up differently. That's power. See, when you wake up ungrateful, you start your day in deficit. You start from a place of complaint, a place of lack, a place of why me. But when you wake up and say, thank you, even if your situation hasn't changed, you've already won, because gratitude shifts your mindset. It helps you see opportunity where others see obstacles. It helps you focus on what you can do instead of what you can't. Gratitude gives you perspective, and perspective gives you peace. And here's the truth. In this world, your peace is your power. Not the money, not the status, not the noise. Peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing who you are and being content with what you have, even while you're working for more. That's the kind of power nobody can take from you, but it starts with gratitude. You can't have inner strength if you're constantly focused on what's missing. You can't build a powerful life if your foundation is built on complaint. And in a world where everyone is broadcasting everything, where people feel the need to post every meal, every move, every win, real power is in privacy. You don't have to show everything. You don't have to prove anything. Some of the most powerful moves you'll ever make are the ones nobody sees. Gratitude teaches you that your worth isn't in the applause, it's in the alignment. When you wake up grateful, you don't chase validation. You move in silence, you work in peace, and you let your results speak. Gratitude gives you clarity. It helps you separate what's real from what's fake. It reminds you of what actually matters: your health, your relationships, your purpose, your growth. The world will try to distract you with everything else, but gratitude centers you. It reminds you that what you have right now is enough to start, that you don't need more to be more, you just need to be thankful for what you already have and use it well. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off, don't just get up. Wake up with intention. Wake up with gratitude. Say thank you. Before you check your phone, say thank you. Before you complain, say thank you. Before you think about what you don't have. Because that one simple act, being grateful, has the power to shift your energy, your mindset, and your entire day. Gratitude is power. It might sound simple, but the truth is that the way you start your morning determines the direction of your entire day. When you wake up with gratitude, you are not just acknowledging what you have. You are creating the energy that fuels everything you do. Gratitude isn't about waiting for life to be perfect before you're thankful. It's about recognizing that even with struggles, even with obstacles, you already have something valuable in your hands. The fact that you woke up this morning means you were given another chance, and that chance is your power. Think about how many people never opened their eyes today. Some didn't get the opportunity you did. The breath in your lungs, the ability to move, the chance to make a decision, those are gifts. And when you realize that, when you say thank you, the moment you wake up, your perspective changes. Instead of starting your day with complaints or negativity, you start with appreciation. And that appreciation becomes the fuel that drives your mindset, your actions, and your results. Gratitude gives you strength because it forces you to see abundance instead of lack, possibilities instead of problems. When you are grateful, you take control of your energy. The world will always try to distract you with stress, with problems, with comparisons, but gratitude is what keeps you grounded. It reminds you that you already have enough to start. That doesn't mean you stop working for more. It means you stop moving from a place of desperation. You stop chasing everything outside of you, and you begin to build from within. That is real power, because a grateful person is not easily broken. A grateful person doesn't get defeated by every setback. Gratitude gives you resilience. It helps you rise above situations because you know there is still something to hold on to. Gratitude also unlocks creativity and vision. When you're stuck in negativity, your mind is closed. You're only focused on what you don't have, on what's wrong, on what's missing. But when you practice gratitude, you shift into a space of possibility. You start asking, what can I do with what I already have? And when you ask that question, your brain begins to find solutions instead of excuses. That's why gratitude is a generator of power. It pushes you to act, to grow, to make use of what's available instead of wasting time wishing for more. The power of gratitude is not in the words "thank you" alone, but in the attitude it creates. Gratitude makes you humble enough to appreciate where you are and strong enough to move toward where you want to be. It's the foundation of success because without it, no amount of achievement will ever satisfy you. But with it, even small victories feel meaningful and big victories feel purposeful. That is why gratitude is power. It shapes your mind, fuels your spirit, and sets the tone for everything that follows in your day. Life itself is a gift, and often we forget how extraordinary it is to simply wake up each morning. We move so fast, chasing deadlines, scrolling through our phones, worrying about bills, and comparing ourselves to others that we overlook the miracle that we are alive today. The truth is, not everyone received the same chance you did this morning. Some people did not open their eyes to see another sunrise. Some people had dreams, plans, and goals for today, but their time ran out. When you wake up, when your heart is still beating and your lungs are still filling with air, you are being handed another opportunity to live differently, to live better, to make the changes you've been delaying, and to take a step closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. That awareness alone can transform how you move through the day. When you see life as a gift, you stop taking it for granted. You stop waiting for the perfect moment to start something because you realize that the moment you have right now is already perfect enough. Too many people waste years waiting for the right conditions, the right job, the right money, the right relationship, the right motivation. But when you accept life as the gift it is, you stop waiting and start moving. You realize that every morning you wake up is another chance to make progress, another chance to try again after failure, another chance to show gratitude, another chance to serve, and another chance to live with purpose. Life as a gift also teaches you humility. You understand that nothing is promised. You can't control the length of your days, but you can control how you spend them. When you start your day with the thought that life is not owed to you, you value it differently. You stop complaining about small inconveniences and start appreciating the simple blessings. Food on your table, people who care about you, the strength to work, the ability to learn. Even the struggles you face are part of the gift because they shape you, teach you, and push you toward growth. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you start asking, "What can I learn from this?" That shift in perspective turns challenges into opportunities. Seeing life as a gift also changes the way you handle time. Every second becomes more precious, every hour more meaningful. You begin to treat your time as an investment instead of something to be wasted. Think about how people act when they receive something rare and valuable. They protect it, care for it, and make sure it isn't misused. That's exactly how we should treat our lives. The hours you waste are hours you can never get back, but the hours you use well can build a future you're proud of. Life as a gift means life is fragile. You don't get to hit rewind, you only get today and you get it once. So what are you doing with it? When you treat life as a gift, you also change the way you treat others. You start appreciating the people in your life more deeply because you recognize that they too are gifts. You stop taking relationships for granted and begin to express love, forgiveness, and kindness more freely. You start to see that every interaction, no matter how small, is an opportunity to add value to someone's life. You realize that the way you show up for others can be part of how you honor the gift of your own life. But here's the thing, recognizing life as a gift is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is easy. It's about understanding that even with pain, even with struggles, even with setbacks, the gift still exists. Your life is still worth living fully. Many people only learn the value of life when they are close to losing it or when tragedy strikes someone else. Don't wait until then. Live with that awareness now. Wake up each morning and remind yourself, I've been given another day. What will I do with it? That one question can completely shift the energy you carry into your day. The power of this perspective is that it makes you grateful, and gratitude multiplies your strength. When you see life as a gift, you stop wasting time on envy, anger, or regret. You stop comparing your journey with someone else's because you know your life is unique and irreplaceable. You begin to move with intention, knowing that every action, every choice, every moment is a chance to honor the gift you've been given. At the end of the day, success is not just about how much money you make, how many titles you earn, or how much recognition you get. It's about how you lived. Did you value the days you were given, or did you let them slip away unnoticed? Did you take the gift of life seriously, or did you treat it like it was guaranteed? Life is fragile, unpredictable, and priceless. That's why it is the greatest gift of all. And when you wake up each morning with that awareness, you don't just live, you truly experience the power and beauty of being alive. Peace is true power. Many people misunderstand what power really is. They think power is about money, status, influence, or being in control of others. But the truth is, none of those things mean anything if you don't have peace within yourself. A person can own mansions, drive expensive cars, and have their name praised by millions, but if their mind is restless and their heart is unsettled, they are weak. They are fragile because their sense of worth depends on things that can be taken away. Real power is the kind of strength that remains when the world around you shakes, and that strength comes from inner peace. Peace is not about the absence of problems. Problems will always exist. Life will always bring challenges, unexpected situations, and moments that test you. Peace is the ability to remain grounded, calm, and focused even in the middle of storms. That's why it is power. When you have peace, you cannot be easily controlled by circumstances, by people's opinions, or by fear of the unknown. You carry yourself with a stillness that allows you to think clearly, to act with wisdom, and to make decisions that aren't driven by panic or anger. The world constantly tries to rob you of peace. It does this through comparison, through distractions, through the endless noise of social media, through the pressure of competition, and through the stress of responsibilities. If you don't protect your peace, you will find yourself exhausted, restless, and reactive to everything around you. That's why peace is not something that just happens. It is something you build and guard, and gratitude is the key that unlocks it. When you begin your day by appreciating what you already have instead of complaining about what you lack, you strengthen your sense of peace. You stop letting the outside world dictate your inner state. You stop being tossed around by every negative thought and every difficult situation. Peace gives you power over yourself, and that is the greatest power anyone can achieve. If you can control your reactions, if you can control your emotions, if you can stay steady when others are losing themselves, you are already stronger than most. That doesn't mean you never feel frustration, sadness, or fear. It means those feelings don't control your life. You acknowledge them, but you don't let them dictate your decisions. That balance is what makes peace powerful. It allows you to walk into rooms where chaos is present and still carry calmness that influences everyone around you. Think about it. When leaders face crisis situations, the ones who stand out are not those who panic or shout the loudest. The ones who earn trust and respect are the ones who remain composed, collected, and thoughtful. Their peace gives them authority because people naturally follow those who are not easily shaken. The same applies to you. In your personal life, in your career, in your relationships, your peace determines your strength. When you are at peace, you can listen better, communicate better, and solve problems better. That is true power. Peace also gives you freedom. Many people live as prisoners of stress, constantly worried about the future or replaying mistakes from the past. But peace frees you from that cycle. It allows you to be present, to live in the now, and to find joy even in simple things. It helps you appreciate life instead of rushing through it. And when you live with that freedom, you are harder to manipulate. You don't chase validation, you don't beg for approval, and you don't get trapped in toxic cycles of comparison. Your peace becomes your shield, and that shield makes you unshakable. What's powerful about peace is that it doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone around you. A peaceful person creates an atmosphere where others feel safe, understood, and valued. Your peace can calm arguments, soften anger, and inspire trust. It makes your presence a source of strength to others. And that is a form of leadership no title or position can buy. At the end of the day, real power is not about controlling others, it is about mastering yourself. If you don't have peace, you will always be at the mercy of life's ups and downs. But if you do have peace, you become steady, unmovable, and focused. Money may come and go, opportunities may rise and fall, but when you carry peace inside you, you carry true wealth that can't be taken away. That's why peace is not weakness. Peace is power, the kind of power that allows you to walk through storms without being broken, to face challenges without losing yourself, and to live with strength that shines even in the darkest times. Privacy protects power. In a world where everyone feels the need to showcase every move, every purchase, every relationship, and every plan on social media, real strength is found in the ability to move in silence. We live in a time where oversharing has become normal, and many people confuse attention with success. But attention fades while true progress lasts. Privacy isn't about hiding who you are. It's about protecting your vision, your growth, and your energy from unnecessary interference. The more private you are, the more powerful you become, because not everyone deserves access to your process. When you broadcast every step you take, you open the door for noise, distractions, and even negativity. People who don't understand your vision will try to discourage you. Some will criticize you before you even begin. Others may envy you, secretly hoping for your failure. And even if no one says anything, the moment you put everything out in the open, you create unnecessary pressure to perform for an audience instead of working for yourself. Privacy eliminates that weight. It gives you the freedom to focus on what truly matters. The work, the discipline, the process of becoming better. Privacy protects your mental space. Not everyone needs to know your goals because not everyone has the capacity to support them. When you tell too many people what you're doing, you invite opinions that can derail your confidence. One negative comment can plant doubt in your mind and slow your progress. But when you keep certain things private, you give yourself room to grow without interference. You allow yourself to make mistakes, to experiment, to fail and try again without the world watching. That space is powerful because it protects your focus, and focus is the foundation of achievement. Another reason privacy protects power is because mystery builds strength. People can only talk about what they know, and when they don't know much about your moves, they can't interfere with them. There is power in silence because silence keeps others guessing. Instead of announcing your plans, let your results speak. When you show up with achievements that no one expected, the impact is far greater than if you had announced them months earlier. Privacy creates an element of surprise, and that surprise amplifies your influence. Privacy also protects your peace. Constantly sharing your life invites comparison, both from others and from yourself. You start measuring your progress by likes, comments, or external validation instead of by real growth. But when you live privately, you live more authentically. You are no longer working to be seen, you are working to improve. You are no longer chasing validation, you are chasing purpose, and that mindset keeps you grounded. It keeps your energy clean and your intentions pure. Living with privacy doesn't mean isolation. It doesn't mean you never share anything or keep yourself distant from others. It means you choose wisely. You decide what is sacred and worth protecting. You choose who gets access to your dreams, your struggles, your victories, and your next moves. Not everyone has earned that access, and that's okay. Protecting your privacy is protecting your power, because your energy is too valuable to be wasted on those who don't understand or appreciate it. Think about some of the most successful people in history. Many of them didn't announce every step they were taking. They didn't broadcast their plans before they executed them. They worked quietly, consistently, and strategically until the results spoke louder than any words could. Their silence wasn't weakness, it was discipline, and that discipline gave them strength that public validation could never provide. In the end, privacy is about control. When you live privately, you are in control of your story. You decide what the world sees, and you decide what remains yours. That control keeps you powerful because it prevents others from defining you or interfering with your path. When you understand this, you stop chasing the spotlight and start chasing substance. You stop performing for others and start living for yourself. That shift is where true power lies. Privacy protects your power because it shields your vision, preserves your peace, strengthens your focus, and amplifies your impact. In a world that glorifies exposure, the real winners are the ones who know how to keep certain things sacred. Let your growth happen in silence, let your results speak in public, and let your power remain protected by your ability to stay private. That is the strength few understand, but many will notice when your success speaks louder than your words ever could. Gratitude brings clarity, and clarity is one of the most valuable tools you can ever have in life. Too many people walk around feeling lost, confused, and overwhelmed, not because they don't have opportunities, but because their vision is clouded. They are distracted by comparison, burdened by negativity, and blinded by the constant chase for more. Gratitude clears away that fog. It helps you see life from a fresh perspective, one where the focus shifts from what is missing to what is present, from what you lack to what you already hold in your hands. That shift in focus is powerful, because when you recognize what you already have, you begin to understand where you are, what matters, and what direction you need to move in. Clarity doesn't always come from having everything figured out. In fact, clarity often comes when you pause and acknowledge the blessings that are already around you. When you stop complaining and start appreciating, your mind becomes lighter. Gratitude gives you a clear lens through which you can see the difference between needs and wants, between distractions and priorities, between temporary satisfaction and long-term fulfillment. Without gratitude, everything blurs together and you end up chasing things that don't actually matter. With gratitude, the noise begins to fade, and you can finally hear the truth about what your life is asking of you. When you practice gratitude, you develop a sharper awareness of what truly counts. Money, success, recognition, these things might look attractive, but gratitude reminds you that health, relationships, purpose, and growth are far more valuable. Without gratitude, you might take these things for granted until they are gone. But gratitude brings clarity by teaching you to value them while you still have them. It reminds you that a conversation with someone you love is more meaningful than scrolling through endless feeds. It reminds you that the ability to work, to learn, and to improve is more valuable than wishing you had someone else's life. Gratitude gives you eyes to see what really sustains you. Clarity also gives you direction. When you're constantly chasing what you don't have, you run in circles, burning energy without moving forward. But when you're grateful, you stop running after everything and start walking toward the right things. You can ask yourself, with what I have now, what is the next best step? That question alone can eliminate years of wasted time. Gratitude simplifies your choices because it removes the illusion that you are empty. You realize that you are already equipped with resources, strengths, and opportunities, you just need to use them. That realization is what clears your path and pushes you to act with confidence. Another way gratitude brings clarity is by calming your mind. Anxiety thrives on the thought that nothing is enough, that something is always missing, but gratitude interrupts that cycle. It reminds you, I may not have everything I want, but I have enough to keep moving. That thought alone can silence fear and give you the clarity to focus on what's in front of you instead of stressing about what's out of reach. Peace of mind doesn't come from control, it comes from clarity. And clarity comes from being thankful for what already exists. Gratitude also sharpens your vision in relationships. It helps you see who truly adds value to your life and who drains it. When you're grateful for the people who genuinely support you, you stop wasting energy chasing those who don't. You begin to invest more deeply in meaningful connections instead of trying to please everyone. That clarity saves you from heartbreak, disappointment, and wasted time. Gratitude reveals the real from the fake, the loyal from the temporary, the supportive from the destructive. And once you see that clearly, your relationships begin to transform. Perhaps most importantly, gratitude brings clarity about yourself. It allows you to recognize your own growth, your strengths, and even the lessons hidden in your failures. Too often, people beat themselves down because they focus only on what they haven't achieved yet. But gratitude helps you step back and see how far you've already come. It brings clarity by showing you that your journey has value, even if it's not perfect. That awareness strengthens your self-belief, and with belief comes the courage to keep moving forward. At the end of the day, clarity is not about knowing every detail of your future. It's about knowing what matters most right now. Gratitude gives you that. It clears your mind from the endless clutter of not enough and replaces it with the focus of this is what I have, this is what I can use, this is where I can go. And when you live with that kind of clarity, you stop stumbling in the dark. You start moving with direction, with peace, and with purpose. Gratitude doesn't just make you happier, it makes you wiser. It helps you separate what truly deserves your attention from what's just noise. And that wisdom, that clarity, is what guides you toward a more meaningful, more powerful life. Gratitude transforms your day in ways that go far beyond a simple thank you. It is not just an emotion, it is an energy, a lens through which you see everything around you. From the moment you wake up, your mindset shapes the quality of the day ahead. If you wake up complaining, focusing on what's wrong, what you don't have, or what might go wrong, you begin your day with heaviness. That weight influences how you speak, how you think, how you interact with people, and how you make decisions. But when you wake up with gratitude, the energy shifts completely. You start lighter, calmer, and more focused. You approach the day with a spirit of abundance instead of scarcity, and that shift can change the direction of every single hour that follows. Gratitude transforms your day by altering your perspective. Challenges will still appear, obstacles will still come, but when you're grateful, you don't see them the same way. Instead of looking at problems as punishments, you begin to see them as opportunities to learn, to strengthen, and to grow. Gratitude doesn't eliminate difficulties, but it equips you with the mindset to face them without breaking down. For example, when something frustrating happens, a person without gratitude might complain endlessly and lose valuable time. A grateful person, on the other hand, might pause and ask, "What is this teaching me?" That simple shift turns a negative moment into a productive one. And that is how gratitude transforms an ordinary day into a meaningful one. Another way gratitude transforms your day is by influencing your relationships. When you appreciate the people around you, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, or even strangers, you begin to treat them with more kindness, patience, and respect. Gratitude softens your tone, reduces unnecessary conflicts, and helps you recognize the value of those in your life. Even small gestures of appreciation can brighten someone else's day, and in return, their positivity strengthens yours. Gratitude creates a ripple effect. The more you express it, the more it multiplies around you. Instead of carrying the tension of criticism and negativity, your day becomes filled with connection and mutual respect. Gratitude also transforms your motivation. When you're focused on what you don't have, you often feel discouraged and powerless. But when you focus on what you do have, you see possibilities. You realize that you already have enough to take the next step toward your goal. That realization fuels action. Instead of waiting until everything is perfect, gratitude inspires you to use what's available right now. And once you start acting, momentum builds. That momentum turns a day that could have been wasted into a day filled with progress. Gratitude in this way transforms your mindset from I can't to I can with what I have. One of the most powerful transformations gratitude creates in your day is in your emotional state. Stress, anxiety, and negativity thrive when you focus on lack. But gratitude interrupts that cycle. The moment you stop and acknowledge your blessings, even simple ones like the ability to breathe, the roof over your head, or the chance to try again, your emotions shift. You begin to feel lighter, calmer, and more hopeful. That inner calm sets the tone for how you respond to everything else. A day that could have been filled with frustration becomes a day of resilience and peace simply because you chose gratitude as your starting point. Gratitude also improves your clarity throughout the day. Instead of being overwhelmed by distractions, gratitude helps you focus on what really matters. You stop wasting energy on petty frustrations or meaningless comparisons, and you concentrate on actions that align with your values and goals. That clarity allows you to be more productive, more intentional, and more satisfied with how you spend your time. By the end of the day, instead of feeling drained, you feel accomplished, not because everything went perfectly, but because you were able to see meaning in everything that happened. Most importantly, gratitude transforms your day by reminding you of the bigger picture. Each day is not just about tasks and responsibilities, it's a piece of your life, a chapter in your story. Gratitude teaches you to value the small moments, the laughter, the conversations, the quiet pauses, the chances to learn and grow. These moments often go unnoticed when you are focused on rushing, complaining, or wishing for more. But gratitude slows you down just enough to appreciate them. And when you appreciate the small things, your entire day feels fuller, richer, and more complete. At the end of the day, the difference between an ordinary day and a powerful one is not the absence of problems but the presence of gratitude. Gratitude turns routine into meaning, struggle into strength, and setbacks into lessons. It transforms the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. It changes how you see people, how you see challenges, and how you see yourself. That transformation doesn't happen once in a while. It can happen every single morning you wake up and choose gratitude over complaint. And when you make that choice consistently, your days don't just change, your entire life does.